Hello.
Hello, you're listening to the Bonnery Show. Today we will be talking to Eugene McGuinness about the mosque in Kilkenny. So Eugene, can you tell us what's happening, or how did you get involved, or tell us all?
Well, the reason I got involved was that the mosque is being built not only a few hundred metres from where I actually live. So very obviously I pass by that site every day to get into this estate here. It was a council estate. Kilkenny County Council built it in the 70s, or in the 80s. So I pass by that site every day. That's how I got involved in it, really.
And this is supposed to be a mega mosque. Is this one of the mega mosques that they're talking about building in? Like, how many people? And they said that there wouldn't be enough people for the normal mosque in Kilkenny. Is that true, or what was the situation there?
Well, the fact is that as they call the normal mosque that they have at this moment in time is the large house, which is quite a distance from this one. And that house, I don't really know how many that house holds. They maintain that there's about 30 cars travel to it. But this mosque has the capacity to hold 500 or 600.
Wow.
Now, it is actually the largest mosque in the southeast. Now, on the drawings and on their application, they maintain that there's 222 prayer mats. Now, that is downstairs, but there's a room upstairs that they call it's called a meeting room. And that has exactly the same capacity, very obviously. It's the same square footage. So what we are looking at here is certainly 500 to 600 people visiting that mosque on any given day, be it prayer, be it Friday, Saturday, whenever. But it is the biggest mosque in the southeast, and as a consequence, I'm sure will attract many people from the surrounding counties as well.
And who's funding this mosque? Where's the money coming from?
Who's funding it? Well, the Imam was asked that particular question at a meeting in Loughlin Stub, which has been well publicised, a meeting organised by a local councillor here, and he was asked that question directly, and he seemed to suggest that night that it would be funded from the Islamic community in the area. Now, considering that we only have about 350 Muslims who actually live in Kilkenny, and considering also that quite a lot of those would be, say, taxi drivers and things like that, I find it difficult to believe that you would actually manage to raise 5 to 6 million, as is estimated, to build this mosque.
Oh my gosh, absolutely, that's insane. So obviously it's Saudi or somebody like that, which means that it would be all the teachings would come directly from an Islamic country, which would be breaking a lot of the Irish law.
Well, the fact is that I didn't get into the religious aspect of this. I have said time and time again that any community, be it a Muslim community or any other religious organisation, are quite entitled to their place of prayer and place of worship. But that does not mean that you can drive a truck and trailer through the planning laws to achieve it. And I believe that's what's happening in Kilkenny. This area, this mosque is being built, which is, for anybody who probably wouldn't know the area, it's just up from Nolan Park. Nolan Park has a capacity of 27,800 people. It's right across the road from Loughlin Stub, which has a capacity of a few thousand people. And it's in an industrial estate, an active industrial estate. Now, the fact is that because of another planning disaster by Kilkenny County Council in the 80s, where they built an estate effectively at the back of what is Assumption Place. Assumption Place would be directly across from the main entrance to Nolan Park. The entrance to that estate was to actually go through that Assumption Place. But there was objection at the time because they said in the case of an emergency, emergency services could not get through to that estate using the old estate. So effectively what they did was they moved the entrance to the estate up the road, and effectively anybody entering the new estate would have to drive through an industrial estate. Now they want to put a mosque on that particular road with that capacity, 600 cars maybe, or 500 cars. You have Nolan Park, you have a Loughlin's Club, you have McDonald's just up the road. At this moment in time, we have a problem. Generally, when mosques are being built, you will have people debating it, and they're usually heated debates. And sometimes people can be accused of looking for a problem to stop the mosque being built. We already have the problem. We already have the traffic problem. In the estate that I live in, during match days in Nolan Park, emergency vehicles cannot get through here for an hour and a half. It's a major, major health and safety issue that the local county council just simply overlook and are not interested in listening to the debate.
The indigenous, like the actual indigenous Irish, the population there, I mean, surely, like that, like the churches wouldn't be given that amount. Like, why 6 million? Like, where? Like that's a crazy amount of money. Like, you wouldn't get that. Like, it has to either come from either Irish taxes or it's coming from Saudi. It's got like. That's crazy. Either the Irish government's giving it to them or Saudi or somebody. Either way, it's very dangerous because I know you don't say the religious aspect, but that's very dangerous for the community around because if they are practicing Wahhabism, which comes straight from Saudi, which is Saudi teaching, which really could be quite...
Again, you see, this is a debate that people are possibly having. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I do not enter this. As far as I'm concerned, if somebody decided to build a Santi village where they're building this mosque, I would object. And it's because of the congestion. I cannot get out of my estate for an hour and a half. That is totally unacceptable from a health and safety point of view. And there is also now a planning application in on the same road for a funeral parlour. Now, that funeral parlour has only spaces for 15 cars inside the compound itself. But the architect, who incidentally is the same architect who is building the mosque, suggests to the council that there is plenty of on-street parking. Now, the on-street he is referring to is actually an industrial estate. And during the day, you have people walking up to this estate with women and children coming up here through an active and expanding industrial estate. And now they want to put a mosque and indeed a funeral home on that same road. It's absolutely bizarre. I don't understand it. The planning consultant I have employed doesn't understand it. All of our politicians have remained silent, refused to stand up. In actual fact, if you'd like to, just to prove it to yourself, make a phone call to any of our politicians in Kilkenny. They won't answer your phone. They certainly won't comment on the mosque. They have no interest in it whatsoever. They are avoiding any questions about the mosque, which is most peculiar, because this is a €6 million development. Under normal circumstances, you have county councillors who would gladly stand up and proclaim that they have brought this development to Kilkenny. But strangely, nobody has said anything about this. And in actual fact, effectively, there's a media there's a media silence on it. Anybody who's objected to this mosque won't get any space in the paper or indeed on radio.
Absolutely crazy. That's the way it is, because this country has become completely leftist. So this is fine. I'm actually not surprised. None of these questions are being asked, even the basic ones that you're talking about there, but nothing, because Islam is not being questioned. So what's your plan? How are you going to, or...
At this moment in time, I have a committee organised. There's 10 people on that committee. We have been informing the public by way of social media, or indeed we are at the moment printing leaflets to shove through letterboxes because we simply can't get the word out any other way. We have a very long technical objection going into on board Penala next Monday morning, which will be delivered by hand. So we are processing through what is the planning process in Ireland. We have no other way of dealing with it. I mean, very obviously, our politicians have stood to one side, have refused point blank to represent the people that elect them. So we have no other choice but to do what communities do when they're under pressure. We'll stand up and fight, and we'll do it the best way we can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pursue this as normally I would. It's a planning application, and I will fight it on that basis.
I don't think it'll go ahead like it does in the UK or any other country. Nothing will be done. There'll be a lot of talk, but in the end, it'll be built. and in the end, it'll be like any other place in England. It'll be just the same. The way you're going, it won't. Nothing's going to be done because they're getting money to do it. So that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that may be all the case. What you said may be correct. They're getting money. They are fighting. We are fighting a huge organisation.
Yeah.
A huge religion, ideology, whatever you'd like to call it. We are fighting that. But I do believe, in fact, that both Pleanála look at these things in a balanced way. I know maybe other people would have a different view of it, but from the people I have spoken to who deal with both Pleanála all of the time and have looked at these plans, have said that it's absolutely insane where this mosque is going. It's that the infrastructure is not there to take it. There's a line of things that would normally lead to that being rejected. So they feel confident enough that Bord Pleanála will deal with it. It is unique in one respect, unlike any other mosque that was built anywhere in Ireland, insofar as it's on an industrial estate and it's also on the road which leads to my estate. I live here, which is unique because we have to drive through an industrial estate ourselves. So it is unique in a lot of respects, and I'm hoping, of course, that Bord Pleanála overturn the decision.
I mean, I'd like naivety if I didn't know so much about Islam and I didn't know about. I'd naively would say you have a choice, but to be honest with you, there's too much money behind it. There's too many organisations behind that. You won't have it. It'll go ahead, because that's just the structure of it. The Irish government has absolutely. It's a complete leftist government that has no regard for the people or the feelings. And
that may be a particular political point of view. I actually don't share that. I think most definitely that the government have lost touch, and I've written about that on numerous occasions. There's no doubt whatsoever about that. But I've been in a political family. I've been involved in a political family since I was a child. My father was a local councillor. Indeed, he was Mayor of Kilkenny on 7 different occasions. So I'm well aware of the political process. I feel confident enough that Bord Pleanála has not been contaminated in that way. I think they are, to my investigation at least, and from people who deal with them on a regular basis, I think they're quite independent. Whatever you say about government and politics is certainly gone to a place that I didn't think it was going to go to. But nevertheless, the systems are in there to deal with what I am dealing with, and I certainly wouldn't advocate any other way of dealing with it. That is not the way I do business.
Well, I wish you good luck, and I hope that I will keep in touch. We'll call you back and keep in touch with this story. But good luck with everything, and I hope for you. But as I said, I understand the subject quite well, and I think it will go ahead. But thank you very much, Eugene McGuinness, for the talk, and listen in on itv.ie. tonight at 8 o'clock on the Bon Ree Show. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. All right, bye.